Hello, Mags here again today. You can see I've got nice and painty. I've been playing with my gel plates. I have a few, I'm lucky enough to have a few different sizes. I've bought them over the years because they're not cheap. I've got this one, which is, let's have a look, 6-inch square. And this one is 7 by 5. So this one I've had the longest. This was my original one. It's very stained because it's been used for alcohol, inks and all sorts of things. This one's a bit newer, so it so far hasn't got stained. It's got some leftover paint from the last time I was playing, but that's fine. I've also got a piece of this paper. Comes on a roll like this. I just get it from B&M. It's children's art paper. Basically, it's so you can roll it out and the kids can just paint on it. I use it for underpapers because then it'll catch any sprays or anything like that, and I won't have to spend hours cleaning my worktop. So I've got just a piece of that. I've got some PaperArtsy fresco finish acrylics. I've got Midnight, which is similar to Payne's Grey but just a little bit bluer. Cerulean. Where are we? Butter and Limelight. They all need a good shake because you always shake your fresco finish paints before you start using them. Because of the makeup of them, they sometimes separate a little. It's not a fault, it's just what they do. So give them all a good shake. They're all opaque apart from Limelight, which was translucent. So we'll put those to the side. I've got my little PaperArtsy brayer, and I've got some just copy paper. I don't even know what this is. This might be the smoothie card. It was just some bits I had laying around. So I'll make a start. So we'll start with, what shall we start with? The Limelight, I think. We'll do the translucent one first. Whoops, keep that. Could end up in some artwork. I'm using this jelly plate as my palette just to brayer out my paint before I add it to the one that I'm going to pull the print with. But I will always end up pulling prints off this extra one as well, and sometimes they'll be better than the main ones. It's just how it goes. I'm lucky enough to have two, so I'll be able to use both. I'm going to get my roll of paper, scrunch it up, open it out. Very nice scrunchy paper. So you can see it's all wrinkles and delves and everything. I'm then going to lay it on and press it onto my plate. Lift it off. And pull a print. Now you see on here, because I haven't used this gel plate for a while, the oil in the gel plate sometimes comes to the surface a little bit, and you get this lovely effect on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to capture that, but also I've got this paint which is on my brayer, so I'm going to brayer that off onto there. There's not a lot, but it'll just save it being wasted. I love this effect when it does this on your gel plate. So that's really pretty. Just got a little bit of intense colour there, but I don't mind. So pop that to the side for a minute, and then we'll pull this one. Right, so that's our first layer, which is quite pretty. Again, we'll put that to the side. So we'll now go with cerulean, I think. Or do we go with butter? No, I think we'll go with cerulean. Get our paper again. Just scrunch it up a little bit more again. And press on. Take that off. Oops, misaligned it a little bit, but anyway, press that on. Now we've got this bit on here, so I think we'll just pull that as it is. Right, and then at this side we'll just roller off the paint. All these are the beginnings of more backgrounds. There we are. I think we just need a little bit of darkness in there, so I'm going to go with a little bit of the midnight, but I don't want to swamp it too much, so we'll just have a little bit. We won't go real thick coat. We've still got this to play with. I'm going to open my paper out a little bit more and then scrunch it up again. See if I can get some of those areas that haven't got paint on to have a bit of paint on. And we'll go on there with that one. Just going to leave that over there a minute while while this paint's wet. I will just do a little bit of, what shall we do? I'll just drag the paint a little bit just to distress it a bit and see what we get. All experimentation is this. And try something different every time. Right, so we'll come back to this and we'll take this off. Yeah, it's quite busy, but it is quite nice. And I can add to that. I can knock some of it back. I can do stamping, quite graphic stamping on it. But this, it's quite a nice background. This one, we haven't got a lot, but that's quite nice. Start of another background. This will be lovely when I pick that up. So what we might do is just a little bit of a matting. This is squeezed. We'll just put a little bit on. Not a lot. That's a PaperArtsy matte tint. If you think coloured matte medium, basically, you'd be on the right tracks. So we'll just spray that on. And pop that down. And that one is squeezed matte tint. I'll leave that to sit for a little bit while I show you this. Because we've used quite some fairly bright colours, the cerulean and the yellow, it's nice. It makes a nice bright background. But what I love is all these little overlapping areas where you've got the dark and the light. I could maybe put another colour in there. I might be tempted to go with a little bit of the rusty, or I could leave it just as it is. Not sure. I think we might go with a bit of rusty. It's a Seth Apter colour. I'll give it a go. We'll lift this first. See what we've got here. Oh, it's ripped my paper. I should have taken it off this way. It's a bit of a tip. If you ever think your paper's going to stick, peel your plate from your paper. I've still got some goodness. I might be able to peel that off and stick it back on here so it isn't quite so white. Or I could just put a little bit of a coat of butter or something, or glow or something on there. It's always fixable. Right, that's over there. So we'll go with our rusty, which is translucent. A bit on here. So we'll scrunch this again. And see if we can get some rusty highlights in there. Oh yes, that's spot on. Yeah, I really like that now. That's just got enough pop of a colour. So I won't do any more at that because I am prone to keeping going and then ruining it. We'll pick this up from here. And actually, if we pick that up, it might solve the white area problem. This is what I mean if you think something's going to stick. Peel your plate from your paper rather than the other way around. That's just given that a nice grungy feeling. I've got some nice edges here I can pick up. No, we've lost another bit. We've lost yet another bit of paper, but what we can do, we've got a bit of colour still on our brayer, we can just knock it back with that, or even just dab it in with our fingers. Just filling that corner in up there and down here, so that if I use it on a journal page, it's got colour right at the edge, and we haven't got areas with no colour. So that quite be a nice, quite interesting grungy background. My little 6x6 journal, pop that back. We've got this one, which is a bit manic, but it's nice. We have this one, which I love. It's quite bright for me, but I really, really like these when I create them. And you don't have to use a big piece of it, you can just use a small area of it. And then we have that one. So I hope that gives you an idea of what we can create using our gel plate and just a few colours and some paper to scrunch up. It's interesting, it's nice, and it can be adapted. This is a grungy take on this technique. This one, nice and grungy. That one, I had the colours on the plate and then I sprayed the infusion sprays, limoncello and just a bit jaded on the back so it's soaked through. I think I maybe should have just stuck with the a bit jaded, but anyway, whatever. So that's a grungy take on it, that's a brighter take, and when I created that grungy one I also got this, that, which I love, a roll-off print, and this was where I just pressed paper onto the infusions when it was on the paper. So you can see it's got plenty of applications, and you can basically do whatever you want with it. So I hope you enjoy that, and I hope you give it a go. I'd love for you to tag me on social media so that I can see your take on it.